To order. It is Monday, July 22nd, year 2013. It is 7:01 p.m. If there's anyone who requires special assistance to participate in this public meeting, please let us know. We'll try to accommodate you. Roll call? Nope, time out. I always forget this. Pledge of Allegiance. Let's stand. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now we'll go agenda item number 3, which is roll call.
Councilmember Crum?
Here.
Councilmember LaFever?
Here.
Pro-Tem Mayor?
Here. Agenda item number 4 is to approve tonight's agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it.
Any further comments or discussion? Councilmember LaFever?
Aye.
Crum?
Aye.
And I approve as well too. Tonight's agenda has been approved. Agenda item number 5 is approve the consent agenda. It's the approval of the minutes of the July 8th regular city council meeting and July 16th special city council meeting. I believe we omitted, we need to add, correct, Vicki, that we need to approve the claims register as well. Set date of August 5th, 2013 at 7 p.m. for a regular city council meeting. And approve building permits for Robert Salter for the Landmark Baptist Church, 302 East 6th Street, west wall repairs and replacement. Patrick and Carol Sears, 425 North Tower Road, new garage and drive for garage. And Christy Hildreth, 415 East 5th Street, to provide coverage over existing basement entrance.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Any further questions or comments? Councilmember LaFever?
Aye.
Crum?
Aye.
And I approve as well too. Motion carries. Agenda item number 6 is approve resolution 13-17, a resolution reporting the salaries for elected officials and employees of the city of Logan, Iowa for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2013.
I make a motion to approve the resolution 13-17, a resolution reporting the salaries for elected officials.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any further comments or questions? I'll read the beginning paragraph and I'll read the ending paragraph. I'm not going to read all the names and the dollar amount. It will be published in the paper, and we can get, we can have copies here as well too. City of Logan, Iowa. City of Logan Resolution number 13-17, a resolution reporting the salaries for elected officials and employees of the City of Logan, Iowa for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2013. Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Logan, Iowa, Section 1, the following persons and positions named were paid the salaries or wages indicated, and the clerk was authorized to issue warrants, checks, less legally required or authorized deductions from the amount set out below on a 2-week pay period and make such contributions to IPERS and Social Security or other purpose as required by law or authorized by the council, all subject to audit and review by the council. And it lists all of our city workers. Section 2, then, the city clerk is hereby directed to publish the resolution 13-17, passed this day of July 2013 and approved on this day of July 2013. If there's no other comments or questions, Councilmember LaFever?
Aye.
Crum?
Aye.
I approve as well. So resolution 13-17 has passed. Agenda item number 7 is discuss and approve paying Angela Winther reimbursement for iDrive. And I believe we had the discussion on this last time or 2 times ago. We didn't put it back in and vote on it in terms of the claims register as part of the consent agenda, so we had to put it back on the agenda to get that formally approved.
She paid it out, so she should get reimbursed.
That's correct. When she was an employee of the city does not have a credit card. She put it on her personal credit card. That bill then, if you don't give them notice, it rolls over, and so she got charged again as well for that service. And so we need to reimburse her the dollar amount. The dollar amount is $49.50.
You want a motion? Make a motion to approve paying Angela Winter reimbursement for iDrive.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second. Any other questions or comments? Councilmember LaFever?
Aye.
Crum?
Aye.
And I approve as well. So agenda item number 7 has been approved. Agenda item number 8 is discuss and approve police department items. Dennis and I had a police committee meeting last Wednesday night at 7 p.m. and I will go through, and Dennis, please jump in what I may have forgotten here. And I'll hopefully go in the order that it's on the agenda. What we discussed there is, I believe that the city workers have city-issued cell phones, and what we would propose is an allowance that would go into their paycheck versus reimbursement. And we were thinking somewhere around $35 to $40 a month as far as a cell phone allowance per month for them. I'll continue to go down the list here and then we can go back and discuss this. As far as number 2 is a stipend. For Justin Miller, recommended amount of $375, and Kyle Graber, the recommended amount of $425 to $450. This action to be retroactive from the resignation of Chief Elmer Smith. We talked about a potential stipend of $375 for Officer Miller and $425 for Officer Graber. And that would make sense to retro that back to when he left, or their first day would be June 28th. His resignation date, or 29th, his resignation date was the 28th. The other thing, though, that we talked about, well, 2 things. One is a stipulation would be you must work 80 hours on duty. I believe that the current schedule is 70 hours, and Dennis and I talked about this, and we feel that they should work 80 hours on a 2-week shift, not including the call time that they would take during the day, and that's what the stipend would be. And we kind of talked about an hour of coming in around 5 p.m. and working till about 3 a.m., something like that. And then again, the stipends to take call time during the day. The schedule, how we're working it, because we only have 2 when one of the officers are gone or Chief Smith is gone. Week 1 is 2 days on, 2 days off, 3 days on. Week 2 would be 2 days off, 2 days on, and 3 days off. That's kind of how the schedule would work. Something else that we discussed, when you do that, there's a lot of hours, and so there's a potential burnout of officers when there's 2 officers trying to cover 3 shifts. So what we want to do is sit down with the county sheriff and Pat Sears and just talk with the county in terms of, first, short term, until we do hire a chief. Maybe what we can do is we can go ahead and hire and enter into an agreement with the county sheriff's department to take call during the day. If we did that, then that would take that extra requirement off of our 2 officers. And there wouldn't be a need for a stipend. We could take that stipend money and we could go ahead, and that's probably what we'd have to pay the county to do that. So, something we're looking into there. The second thing would be, I think, as we talked briefly last meeting, always, when somebody leaves, we hate to see people leave, but opportunity knocks. And so, I think we need to look at all possibilities. And so if we're going to talk to the sheriff about short term, we've done this 2 or 3 times, I guess, since when I was mayor, just to sit down with the county and say, if in fact we were to have you service our community full time, what might that look like, what would the response times be, what the expense would be, what could we expect. And I think it's just probably good business to continue that discussion, every few years. We have had an inquiry or interest came from Woodbine, the city of Woodbine, asking us if we'd have an interest potentially in sharing a chief between the city of Logan and Woodbine, or between the city of Logan and Missouri Valley. So there's another possibility or option out there that we probably should take some time to explore. So I think there are some options out there, and I think we need to explore those, which really in turn might affect the stipend for Officer Graber and Miller. I would say though, as they're doing this, and until we make that decision, they are doing the day or the night work, they are taking call during the day. And so Denny and I thought up until the point we make a different decision, we would make a recommendation of $375 for Officer Miller and $425 for Officer Graber. Number 3 was squad car camera footage is not working at this time. That actually we discussed as well, and that's being taken care of. It's the squad car, it's the camera in the squad car. That works fine, but then the program to bring it in, put it on the computer, bring it into a disk to send it to the state, etc. That isn't the part that's working. They're working with the current vendor to get that corrected. So that is in process. How am I doing, Denny?
You're doing great.
All right. Explorer status, and we just touched on this the last meeting that we had here. We have $8,500 in our budget, and traditionally we put money away each year of our budget. So when our police car is up, or we need a new police car and it's met its useful life, we go ahead and have the money to pay cash in for that car. How we felt is obviously $8,500 is not enough. What we'd hope to do is put some more money in the savings account this year, and then the next fiscal year we'd put another amount in there that would about get us up to what we need to be. We could pay cash not this year, but next year, in the next fiscal year is what we're proposing. And supplies, including ammunition, and we spent most of our time on the ammunition. We know after talking with Elmer, he ordered 2,000 rounds of target or practice ammo. Kai will need 50 target rounds to qualify this year. Justin will be going to the academy. He'll need anywhere from 800 to 1,000 target practice rounds. So we should have plenty of target or practice rounds from an ammunition perspective. The questions we can answer, and we need to ask the officers. One would be the AR-15s. We're not for sure what the supply looks like there. We need them to get back to us. And then there's 2 others. The duty weapons, those take hollow points, and we think we're low, but what we don't know is how many do we need, and so we have to talk to them and ask them that as well. And shotgun rounds, we know we're a little low on that, and we're trying to understand, how much we need to carry out our duties here, and hopefully not a lot. So, and last was the STEP funding program and filing. The STEP program and filing, we need to get a hold of the state. We have not applied for the next year, and we need to apply or reapply for that. For this current year, we're finishing that out this fall, and we'll get about $1,500 split between the 2 officers, and we fill the appropriate paperwork out, and they get to split the $750 each. And I don't know if there's much else past that.
Sounds good to me.
The last thing was around advertising as well for a chief of police. And we came up with the requirements. ILEA certified or certification required, 2-year degree and 5-year experience required, or if they don't have a degree, 10 years of experience required with some supervisory experience is what we're looking at there. And I emailed Vicki, I think what we want to try to do is there's several, 2 or 3 websites out there that we probably can get more play, I think initially on the law enforcement side of things where those people with those skills really go out and look every day, all day, maybe before the newspaper. So we're looking at putting them onto websites where the police officers go out and search for new jobs, and that's what we're in the process of doing now. So Nick or Denny, do you have questions or?
Nope. Pretty much covered everything that we talked about.
Nick, do you have questions? I can give you copies of my notes here too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably this one.
Went through that kind of quick.
Is the stipend similar to what we used before? Okay.
The stipend before, I believe, going from memory, was $375 and $500, but that was for the chief. As I look at this, I think tonight, at a minimum, we should probably approve the stipend because they are doing that work today. Understanding we will talk with the county and see what the options are and come back to the full council and talk about what those options are. But while they're doing the work, I think they should be compensated for that. We need to really sit down probably with both of them and talk about the ammunition and how much they need. And once they tell us that specifically, we can make a final decision on that. And the cell phone, we want to make sure that we're fair to them too. And so I'd really like to just sit down with them, have conversations and see what makes sense, unless anybody objects to that. And we can come back and just put specific dollars in there. Everything else I think is in motion except Explorer status. We don't have the funds at this particular time.
Sounds good to me.
So you want to make a motion for the stipend?
I make a motion that we do the stipend for the 2 officers with the $375 and $425.
I'll second that.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve a stipend for Justin Miller, recommended amount of $375. Kyle Graber, the recommended amount of $425. This action to be retroactive from the resignation of Chief Smith. I don't want to put that in your words in your mouth, Dennis. Is that how you want your motion?
Yeah.
And you'll second that motion, Nick?
Yeah.
Okay. And I would just state, as I've said now a couple of times, they're doing the work today. We'll be exploring other alternatives because we certainly don't want to burn our officers out either.
Right.
And so, if in fact other alternative arrangements can be made, then obviously they're not doing that work. The stipend would cease at that time. So, okay. Any other questions or comments? Councilmember LaFever?
Aye.
Crum?
Aye.
And I approve as well too. Agenda item number 9 is approve renewal of a Class C beer and Sunday sales permit, Class B native wine for Logan Mini Mart. Is everything in order, Vicki? Okay.
Make a motion to approve the renewal of the Class C beer and Sunday sales permit, Class B native wine for Logan Mini Mart.
I'll second it.
Any further questions or comments? Councilmember LaFever?
Aye.
Crum?
Aye.
I approve as well. Agenda item number 9 is approved. Agenda item 10 is discuss American Red Cross Shelter Agreement as compared to the Memorandum of Understanding with HCHPH. I have a couple of comments. I don't want to jump in. Okay. So we've had these agreements running parallel or simultaneously up to this point as well too. So
Have we?
I believe we have, as best I can see here. The American Red Cross Shelter Agreement, what it states as it starts out, terms and conditions, paragraph 1, use of facility upon request and if feasible. Owner will permit the Red Cross to use the facility on a temporary basis as an emergency public shelter. Unfortunately, they want to use it in an emergency, so they're going to want to both use it at the same time, but the language in the American Red Cross says upon request and if feasible. This agreement also was signed by the city June 25th of 12, and by them on July 2nd of 12. So the term of this agreement begins on the date of the last signature, which is July 2nd, and ends 30 days after written notice by either party. So it goes on until somebody gives a 30-day notice. Under Harrison County Home and Public Health, under paragraph 2, requirements, it says, provide access to the facility upon emergency notification from HCHPH, kind of a tongue twister. And then number 3, HCHPH, requests take priority over all other events. i.e. Red Cross.
Wedding.
The term of this contract is May 2013 and shall terminate the first day of May 2018. So it's a 5-year contract. Okay.
Guess whoever gets here first gets it. I know the Red Cross is more for tornadoes and floods and earthquakes and that sort of thing, and the other one's for more medical. So I don't think there'll be a chance that the two will be using it together. So maybe they can share it. There's enough rooms here.
Well, and as I look at the agenda item here, 10, it says discuss. It doesn't say discuss and approve or consider. So we probably can't take action on this tonight.
Yeah.
I didn't see that ahead of time. That's okay. So we'll have to put that on the next agenda, discuss and consider.
Yep.
Other comments or questions? Number 13 is discuss credit card information applications.
I contacted the different banks in our community and surrounding areas. Contacted Community Bank in Logan. At this time, as it is a board ruling, this bank will not issue credit cards to county, city, or other government entities. Strongly suggested seek an attorney opinion or bonding company to know what liability issues this may raise. Mid-States Bank in Mo Valley, they do not offer applications for credit cards anymore. Great Western Bank in Mo Valley, I have some information attached. They would do a business Visa card. Farmers Trust and Savings out of Woodbine, information attached. They go through First National Bank of Omaha, cards issued by First Bank Card. American National Bank in Mo Valley, the latest information that I got from them is that we would have to have an account with that bank in order to get a credit card.
Any questions or comments, Nick or Danny?
I don't know that much
Your
about
thoughts?
credit cards because we have one, but we only use it for emergencies and so. I'm not that familiar with them, so.
Business cards for small businesses are pretty prevailing. I mean, they're out there a lot, and a lot of companies buy a lot of their supplies and everything on there. You get a nice accounting and detailed, invoicing of all of that, so it's easier to keep track of. What I'm not familiar with is municipalities and, kind of the thought process around that, government, county and city government. Susie, do you guys have a credit card at the county level?
Yes, we do.
Do you? Okay.
And it's a program through US Bank, and I administer it. I mean, I have control of all the cards. I have what limits are set. I can change those. I can restrict places. They can't get cash, I can restrict that. So it's a program that I have control over.
So Vicki, when you talked to Great Western, or Farmers Trust and Savings, they did give you the applications to fill out. Is that what we're seeing here? Okay. Well, I personally would be in favor of us, visiting with the two local banks here. And probably Great Western Bank in Missouri Valley, if it's their own, that would be more local. Farmers Trust and Savings Bank in Woodbine, obviously that's local, but they go through a bank in Omaha. So maybe we need to and do we have the app for Great Western Bank in Missouri Valley? We do.
I'd like to also set up something like what she's got, so we can have control over someone.
And that's part of it. They'll set that up, who has authorization, up to how much, and how many of the employees, have access to it and all of that. So that's how you just set it up.
Yeah.
What we have on here, agenda item number 11, is discuss credit card information application. So we've done that. Probably before we fill out the formal app and get the approval, we probably need to have a formal council action, which I don't think we're going to have tonight.
No.
So we will put that back on the agenda. But I think it's something that's long overdue. We certainly need to go ahead and apply for that and get going. So.
Yep. I agree.
Agenda item 12 is discuss and approve bids received for a flatbed for city pickup to put sprayer on. RC. We're going to mic you up here.
I don't need that. The first three you have in your packet there, they're all steel flatbeds, and they've all pretty much come in the bids about within, $200, $220 within each other. The fourth bid is a little higher, but that's bid as an aluminum flatbed, which we didn't bid because we didn't know how close they'd be on price. He come in with about $900 of a steel bed, which everybody else was telling me $1,200 to $1,500 of the steel bed. But we do believe the aluminum bed would hold up better with the salt brine. So that's kind of what we're leaning towards. And it's through a company out of Council Bluffs that we do a lot of business with anyway, so.
Can you just tell us briefly what you're doing?
Basically, what we're wanting to do is take the utility box off the water pickup, the old water pickup, the green pickup, and put a flatbed on it with a receiver hitch so we can do our spraying, our salt brine put down and stuff like that. And then we'll retire the old black and silver pickup, so. I did notice on your bids it don't tell what kind of beds they are, and I do have that information if you want it.
So what's your recommendation?
I would like to see us go with the aluminum just because I think we'll get more life out of it with the salt brine and I could get a couple more aluminum bids if you want, but I just thought the price difference was going to be way more than that, so I didn't bother getting any prices on them, so.
So I'll read the three bids here quick. Badger Body and Truck Equipment Company out of Omaha. And the bid was for $3,305. Now for sure I can't see this, but it's, is it G-Rig Truck Accessories?
It's a big rig.
Big Rig, okay. It's blacked out. Big Rig Truck Accessories out of Gretna, Nebraska. And that came in at $3345.06. And Paul Fleet Truck Equipment out of Council Bluffs. It came in at $3225. And they also are the company that bid the aluminum, and that came in at $4125.
That's all. They'll take off our old bed. This is fully installed, out the door, ready to roll.
Fully installed, ready to go out the door. Comments or thoughts, or I don't want to rush it.
I'm like him, I like the idea of having an aluminum flatbed. If it's, since it's gonna last a whole lot longer, and they're gonna be using it for more than the salt line. It's gonna last, longer than a steel one.
Do you feel we need to go back to the other two companies and ask them to bid the aluminum one?
Probably good.
I was curious about Badger Body because they were substantially Oh, I guess they're about the same.
They're all within about $200 on the steel bed.
Yeah. We probably should get prices on the aluminum.
How good are these bids? How long are these bids good for? It doesn't say, I don't think, unless I missed it.
Yeah, a couple of them do. One said 15 days, but I called them today and they'll still honor it. The rest of them I don't think say.
Which one did you call?
Big rig, it's the
Okay.
only one that says quote's only good for 15 days.
Mhm.
And the reason we kind of got this on here is the time frame. They're all talking 4 to 5 weeks to even get a bed, and hate to say it, but snow's gonna be flying.
Quicker than we think.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, Paul Fleet says 30 days, and it's good to the 24th, which is Wednesday. So. You want to get 2 more bids, aluminum from the other 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Nick,
Yeah.
can we get 2 more, can we get aluminum from the other 2 vendors then?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Put this back on the agenda for next time. We'll have 2 more bids for the aluminum and we'll make a decision. Agenda item 13 is discuss and approve request made by Stanley Roberts to air Baptist Church services on Long Lines Access Channel once a week. I don't know the history of how we've done this in the past. I don't remember. Angela, how have we done this in the past?
I think we've probably, for about 20 years or so, showed, at one time, we had 4 churches that brought the tapes in on a weekly basis to show. Over the years, one by one, their camcorders quit working, and we hadn't upgraded to DVDs yet. So, they were going to buy new camcorders, which were the newer technology, and so there was kind of a gap there where we didn't show any for quite a while because the technology wasn't the same. Now we have the DVD VCR upgraded with the upgraded long lines equipment that we got a few years ago, and so, we've done it
We have technology.
forever, yeah. Most of them had a preset time. Every Wednesday at 3:30 was the Christian church, and Thursday was the Lutheran church, and I can't remember, but, so they would just bring it in sometime that day, and we just had an egg timer to keep track of when we needed to pop it in and push play. It's not a big deal. It's probably got the capability of programming it to play.
Well, it sounds like we have the technical expertise to do it. Now it's just a matter of, us wanting to manage that, bring it in and push it in and push play.
I think it'd be a good idea. Make a motion to approve Stanley Roberts' request to air the Baptist church services on Long Lines once a week.
I'll second it.
Okay, any further comments or questions?
Hey, Mike. Shouldn't this be made available to all the churches? I mean, I see you're just approving it for Baptist, but
Yeah, we'll check what.
Yeah, I think we've had it, I think we've made it available through the years to all the churches. And we would certainly do that as well. we'll go on record to say if they want to come or send us a request to do that, we'd certainly honor and welcome that as well too. Good point.
Thank you.
Okay, Councilmember LaFever.
Aye.
Crum.
Aye.
I approve as well. Agenda item number 14, clerk's comments.
The Mid-America Energy wireless router donated to the city for the community center was hooked up on Thursday, July 18, and is now available for use. There was a full inspection done on July 9, 2013. We just got back the report today, the inspection report, and it looks very, very good. It says, "Thank you for keeping very good records and excellent water quality. Keep up the good work." Oh, I'm sorry. I received one more item today that I wanted to mention from the city attorney. It's called an investigative file request, and it kind of outlines the expense and the duties of what we should do if someone is asking for information that is open to the public, which we would provide for them, but we need to maybe look at this to talk about the expenses.
Nick or Dennis, any questions or comments of Vicki?
No.
Okay. Agenda item 15, Mayor Pro Tem comments. I just got a few quick ones here. Special election for mayor is scheduled for Tuesday, August 13th. Correct, Susie? Okay. 13th. One candidate turned in papers.
Correct,
Jim Edelman?
correct.
Okay. Planning and zoning, I know we've been working with Jason to go ahead and get planning and zoning board meeting for the Heeb's request to rezone part of their land agricultural, and we're in the process of doing that. Tentatively scheduled for July 31st. Okay. When they were here last week, Bob, and I don't remember the young lady's name as well, from Allegiant Clinic, he asked if we wanted to talk to some people. He would give us some names. I have contacted Bob, and I have received a couple of names. I'm going to call them this week to follow up with them just on the funding and the process for the Allegiant Clinic expansion we talked about here a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to follow up with that and bring more back to the council around that. That's really all I had. I didn't have a lot either. Anything I'm forgetting? Anything else? Nick or Denny or anything else?
Can't think of anything.
Agenda item 16 is citizens' questions and comments.
Rick O'Neill, 701 Glen Road. I just got a couple comments about, we've got some cows running on city property now, and I've been up and talked to Vicki a couple times about it, and I know for a fact that the gal that lives right next door, she come up before they was ever put in there. I guess I don't know why the cows ever got in there to start with, and they're still in there as of today. So.
I don't know if I have the latest update or not. We asked Jason Roden, who's our zoning administrator, to go back, take a look at where the city limits are, what the actual zoning reads, and then go ahead and enforce the zoning that we have to enforce down there. So let's follow up with Jason again tomorrow morning, see where we're at with that.
One of the emails that we got was that the county said that everything on the other side of that road is county, so that's why they wouldn't go down there. So kind of a, question is where
Yeah,
the,
it's my property line going west is city property. And I know Joanne Fetter knows that because a few years ago, she went to put a housing development in there. So I know she knows that's city property, so.
Yeah, get with Jason and let us know what was said. So, thank you. Other comments or questions?
Angela Winther, I live outside city limits. Since you approved tonight to air the church videos on the local access channel, I guess I would just request that perhaps it be on the next agenda to discuss airing the city council meetings on there for those people maybe who don't have internet access. Before I was fired, I was told to check and see how many people in Logan had long lines, and approximately a third of the town 1 year ago had long lines cable service. So roughly a third of the people should be able to watch the videos of the council meetings. Thank you.
Yeah, Vicki, I'd put that on the agenda as well, too. Anybody else?
make a motion to adjourn.
Second it.
Councilmember LaFever?
Aye.
Crum?
Aye.
I approve as well, too. Tonight's agenda's over. Or meeting, excuse me.